Hello everyone, this video is a bit special because I'm not going to talk about physics or quantum mechanics. Instead, I'm going to interview Ahmed Matar. Ahmed is a Palestinian freerunner. Hello Ahmed, by the way.
Hi,
Even
Arno.
And so you're a Palestinian freerunner and you're also a Palestinian refugee. You grew up in Gaza and you lived in Gaza until the age of 20. And you now live in Sweden, but your family is still in Gaza. And more specifically, your family is currently sheltering in Rafah, in the south of the Gaza Strip. And unfortunately, as you may know, I mean the audience, Israel is about to carry a military offensive in Rafah, which was, although it was originally supposed to be a safe place at the beginning of the war against Gaza.
Mm.
But before talking about the current situation in Gaza, Ahmed is going to tell us about what it is like to grow up in Gaza and how you manage to leave Gaza. And yes, so
Yeah, living in Gaza is very special for sure. We live in a place where we feel like oppressed. We feel like we don't have our rights all the time. We feel like we are missing a lot of things. We feel like fear all the time. Imagine feeling like fear of the bombs. Imagine expecting bombs at any moment because you don't know if it's gonna be a war or not, and it's a place where you don't feel safe. In the same time, it's a place that I love a lot because of it's my home. It's the place where I grow. It's the place where I have my friends, my family. So it's very special for me because of that. But in a moment, if I think about the future there, about how if I can make any life, any future in Gaza, that's make me feel like it's not the place because of the place, the siege, the occupation that is surrounding us, that I cannot travel any moment I want. I cannot build the future because any moment my project can be bombed. My home can be bombed. Never felt safe since I was a child that I could see the bombs in front of my eyes. I could see the smoke coming out after the bombs that hits some buildings in front of us. I could see the fear of my friends when it was like the bombs happening while we are at the school at the age of in 2012, no, 2008, actually. It was the first time I could see or hear the very huge bombs. And that's I was in the classroom, and then suddenly a very huge bombs around us. We got scared. We did not know if it's gonna hit the school where we are or what's gonna happen. So all of us were forced to leave the school to go home as fast as possible. And in my way home, I could see the smoke after the bombs, and directly I had to run home to be with my family, and every one of us were gathered at home in one room, scared of that the bomb will hit us at any moment because it was almost random. Bombs were everywhere, and you don't know if you're gonna live or you're gonna die.
Mm.
At that time in the 2008, I could see the white phosphors in front of my eyes. Like I saw that white phosphors, which is supposed to be illegal. So yeah, that's how it is to grow in Gaza. But in the same time, it's a place where it teaches you how to be patient, how to be strong, how to be close to your family and to your friends. It's a place where like we are very close to each other, that everyone helps each other, and yeah, it's a very close place to my heart.
Okay, and so in a sense, you were lucky to discover parkour, I guess, because without parkour, maybe you weren't able to leave Gaza, even if I understand it must be very difficult also to very painful to leave Gaza. But maybe you can tell us a bit how uh, how did you discover parkour? And I can also, because um, I can share my screen, and so and in order to show some videos of you doing parkour, I take just
Yeah,
the first one, but
yeah, that's my the jump that I'm most proud of about. It's the latest big jump of me here in Sweden.
okay.
I have
So
done big jumps like that in Gaza as well, but this is like, I can say this is the hardest jump I have done to press from almost 8 meters.
okay,
Uh, yeah, I started parkour when I was 9 years old. After I met two guys, which called Mohammed El Jakbir and Abdullah Shasi.
yes,
These two guys who came to the place where I was training martial arts. They were doing flips and they were jumping in the place where I train martial arts. I used to train Kung Fu and Taekwondo and many other sports at the age of 4. Like I started when I was 4
oh,
years old. I started with Kung Fu,
okay,
and I felt like the sports is something very special for me that I felt like I want to develop at. I felt like I am happy, more happy
okay,
when I do sports. And when I met these two guys who came to the gym where I train martial arts, I got inspired. I was so happy to see someone doing flips in front of my eyes. I thought always that it was something unreal, that is fake in the movies, because I saw a movie that is called District 13. I don't know if you heard
ah,
about it, but
yes, it's a French movie.
exactly.
It's in
I
French,
saw
banlieue 13.
that. I saw that movie before I met them.
Okay,
And I was also watching a lot of Jackie Chan, a lot of like jumping, and for me that movies gave me like made me very excited to jump. So I used to always jump at home directly after uh, watching these movies. I always climbed the walls at home, and yeah, but never felt like it's something real. Never thought it's a sport. So when I met these two guys, I
mm,
knew it's a sport, and then I was really inspired by them, and then they were like thinking about like making a team, so I joined them together with all the guys who used to train with me martial arts. We all together felt in love with parkour, so we stopped martial arts and we just kept doing parkour since
okay,
that time. And yeah, for sure, we were training at a cemetery. It's the place where
yes,
it's just walls and sand and dead bodies. Dead, like the graves is very close to us, but we
okay,
used to jump on the walls. That's the only place where there is walls and sand. And in the same time, it's a way of the people that is like felt maybe disturbed by us. We did not want to
yes,
disturb the people or get any bad comments because it was very new sport in Gaza.
okay,
So it was like, yeah, people were giving comments about us. Oh, look at these people wearing this wide baggy pants, or like looking at us like, are they going to steal something, or why are they
okay,
climbing? So we decided to train at the cemetery and to keep training there and develop ourselves. And we got for sure many injuries because it was like we wanted to develop very fast. We
okay,
wanted to be the best at parkour. That's how we are kids. We wanted to be very good at parkour. So we wanted to do triple flips. We wanted to do double flips. We wanted to really learn by ourselves. And we want for sure, like for us, it gave us like a feeling like we are like flying, we are free. We could focus just on parkour to forget everything around us. So yeah, we developed by time, and we kept training and making videos to post on YouTube. And by time we could reach other people who does parkour in other countries, and they could see us on the news, because many also channels who came to film us in Gaza to make documentaries or an interview about us in Gaza. So our parkour team could reach the world while we are in Gaza, and then these people who see us try to invite us for many like workshops or competitions to join. But unfortunately, it was very hard for us to join at the beginning, because it was or it's still hard. It was hard because of the situation in Gaza, where we cannot travel easily, where we have to apply for the visa and getting a refused visa. Or when we get the visa, then we have to wait on a queue behind thousands of people who's registered to travel and who want to also travel, and the crossing is closed most of the time. So yeah, in the end, I could make it to Sweden after really many years of trying. I applied for many visas, many times applied for the crossing to travel from Rafah, and it was hard to travel. And that's the situation of everyone in Gaza. The situation of any parkour athlete in Gaza who was trying to travel to join a parkour jam, parkour event, and it felt impossible. It is actually, like, you can say it's impossible to leave Gaza. And imagine in these times when it's a war in Gaza at the moment, it's very, very difficult to. I'm trying to help my family in any way. Just I want them to be in a safe area, but it's hard to get them even to cross to Egypt. So
Yes. And
yeah,
so
that's the
maybe,
situation for people in Gaza at the moment. Sorry.
yes, no, no. I was about to say, maybe before switching to the current situation, maybe you could elaborate a bit more on the blockade, the siege that you lived in Gaza, because Gaza is under a blockade since 2006, right? Or 2007?
Yeah, a bit after they left from
Okay.
Gaza, the Israel occupation left Gaza. I mean, the Israeli occupation is still there, but Israeli settlements were in Gaza before 2005, and for sure I do remember all of that times. I did see the Israeli tanks in front of my eyes crossing in front of our home, and settling in like 50 meters away from our home. And I remember when it was shooting in the street. I remember when it was shooting our neighbors' doors. And I remember that they attacked my uncles and they even attacked our home many times when I was a child. So in the 2005, they left Gaza, and yeah, the freedom, you can say it was there was a hope for a full freedom for the people of Gaza to be able to travel and to enjoy time without Israelis living with us, who's or putting pressure on us, torturing us, arresting us, killing people of Palestine in Gaza. So when they left, people could go to the sea, swim. They could visit each other inside Gaza itself. In Gaza Strip, when Israel was settling in Gaza, they were putting like checkpoints between Gaza City and Khan Yunis, for example, or Nusayrat and the north, or between Gaza, Khan Yunis and Rafah, which is the very south of Gaza Strip. So at that time, before Israel leave Gaza, I even could not meet my aunt, who's living like 10 minutes away by car. in Rafah, and we are living in Khan Yunis. So when Israeli left from Gaza Strip, so we felt like, yeah, now we can move inside Gaza. But after that, in the 2007, Israel forced a siege on Gaza, or even after they left, even Gaza Strip, they started to put pressure on us that we could not travel. The situation got much worse about the traveling, about moving. We even cannot visit the West Bank, for example. I never been to the West Bank, which is part of Palestine, and Palestinians are there, and it was like for me a dream, and still it's a dream for me to visit the West Bank, to be able to, yeah, to meet friends from there, and to watch the places, the holy places, the old buildings of the historical places in the West Bank that I have always dreamt about seeing in real life.
Mm.
And yeah, so about the siege,
I,
it's been a long, more than 17 years, and no, yeah, how many years is it from the
since
2007? Let's say, yeah,
16,
it's almost 17,
16,
yeah.
17, yes.
Yeah,
And
so it's
I shared my screen just to show the audience a map of Gaza. And
yeah,
so
that's
you,
the Gaza Strip. I live in Khan Yunis.
yes,
My aunt is living in Rafah, for example, and we
yes.
could not meet each other in the time where Israeli
Be-
soldiers and army were controlling Gaza Strip,
and and the Israeli settlers, they were all on the coast.
they were controlling actually all Gaza, but yeah, we could not visit the sea area because they were, yeah, building their settlements in that area. So most of these areas in the on the sea were like we were not allowed to see or to, yeah, to be at that
Mm.
time. And
It's crazy because
after
it's a very small area since it's 40 kilometers per 10 kilometers. So you're always very close to the sea, but you weren't
we
able
were
to
not
cross the sea.
able, exactly. It's
Yes.
not, it's less than 1 kilometer away from us to be in the sea.
Okay. Okay. But it was
It's really,
forbidden.
yeah, it was forbidden and dangerous to even, it was even dangerous to move around your area. Like it was really dangerous
Okay.
that
And
you might be shot or arrested at any moment.
since you talked about the West Bank, maybe we should say in order to clarify, um,
So the West Bank,
it's
yeah, it's supposed
Cisjordanie
to,
in French.
it's okay, yeah, it's that
It's
area.
it's
And
here.
you know, the Israeli settlements are almost everywhere in the West Bank. So it's getting, the Palestinian land are getting smaller and smaller
Hmm.
every day. Every day there is like people who's forced to leave their homes, and so other Jewish people who come from different countries who can take this home,
Hmm.
and that's how it is. So the West Bank are like controlled and occupied by Israel, and the Palestinian people have almost no right there at all because the Israelis are really able to get inside any home at any moment, kick
Hmm.
the people out, arrest any person they want at any moment. That's how it is in the West Bank.
Mm. And the number of Israeli settlers in the West Bank is huge. It's almost 800,000 settlers.
Yeah, yeah, it's very huge and getting more and more every day. So
Yes, and
it's
it's illegal.
catastrophic for
Yeah.
us.
Okay.
Mm.
So sorry, I interrupted you.
No, no, it's fine.
So yes, maybe we can talk a bit more about the West Bank and the fact that almost or around, I don't know, around 70% of the Gaza population is in fact refugees from another part of Palestine, and indeed this is your case, since your
Yeah,
grandfather
for sure.
was.
It's the case of almost most of the Palestinians who live in Gaza Strip, because Gaza Strip is full of is like it's called with refugee camps in everywhere. I was born in Khan Yunis. Khan Yunis is called the refugee camp, Khan Yunis refugee camp, and it's because of the, like in the 1948, most of the people who like were forced to leave the areas inside the occupied Palestine, whereas Israel at the moment, they were forced to leave, and they were living inside tents in Khan Yunis camp, refugee camp, and Nusayrat and Rafah and everywhere almost in Gaza Strip were full of refugees. That was the people who came from the areas where they were forced to live. They were living in actually tents, and then after years they built their homes above their tents because they could not go back to their homes. They lived inside the tents thinking that they will be able to go back to their homes. For example, my grandfather, he even took his key, his home keys with him. So thinking that he will be able to go back after some days of this attack on them, but then he was never able to go back. And he even gave the keys to his son, and then till now we are not returning. But we
Yes.
still say and believe that someday we will return to our homes. It's our right, you know. It's the right of return. It's something that is even written in the global human right,
Yes.
that everyone is forced to leave his home because of occupation. He have the right to return to his home. Everyone is occupied have to fight to get their land back. That's how it is. That's how every land got their freedom. They fought, they fight for their freedom, and that's how we are Palestinians. We think we have the right to return. We have the right to go back to our areas, to our land.
So, and it started in 1948 because it was 1948 is the year
The
of
Nakba.
the creation of the Israeli state, and
Exactly. And that year there was many Israeli Jewish mafias that was attacking the Palestinians and forcing them out of their homes. They were even murdering people to scare them to leave their homes. And that's they killed many people at that time even.
okay, and your grandparents were forced to flee
They were
this year.
forced to flee. Everyone was running away. Everyone was scared to be killed. So they all had to leave because everyone was in like how do I say the word, like you could be killed at any moment because
Yes.
the shooting and was big at that time. I don't know much about it, like because I did not live it, but my grandfather told me how it was, that they were killing people, that they had to leave their homes. They were killing people. If you don't leave, then you get killed. So yeah, people
Yes.
decided to, so they can live, and thinking that they will go back.
They were really forced to flee.
They were forced to flee for sure.
And the story you told me about the key of your grandfather's home, I think it's correct me if I'm wrong, but it's quite common among Palestinian refugees.
Exactly, like you would sometimes see at anyone's home, like the key of their home, original home, is somewhere in their home
Mm.
hanging, or at least a picture of their grandfather holding the keys. I don't know if I have a picture of my grandfather holding the keys. I do for sure have it, but I don't know if I will find it very fast because it was I always keep the photo on my phone and
Yes.
remembering my grandfather telling the story about our home in El Majdal, which is, yeah, we never saw. I always wanted to see that place, but I never been able to see it.
Yes, and it's not even the same name, no, because it's Ashkelon.
It's they changed the name to Ashkelon, exactly. El Majdal is Ashkelon. I don't know if I can find it very fast.
Ah,
It may take time, but I'm sorry for that. I oh wait, you can maybe cut the video and
no, I don't
until
mind.
because we
Okay.
have 7 minutes in the
Ah,
here is the picture.
yes. Okay.
That's my grandfather.
Okay.
That's the key of our home. And what's written here,
Yes.
the right of return is a holy right. You know,
Okay.
it's like we have the right to return. And he also write down, he says, never forget your land, my son. This is the home papers, like the contract. And this is the keys of our home. Keep it in your heart and never forget home.
Okay.
That's the
It,
word of our grandfather.
it's a powerful symbol, I would say.
I mean, for sure. This picture was hanging in our home in Gaza, and it always reminds us of our home that we have the right to return.
Mm. You've been through many wars by living in Gaza. Uh, the most famous, or the one of 2008, 2009, I mean, most famous in France or outside Gaza, 2012 and 14, I think.
Yeah,
But
2008, 2012, 2014, and then
and then
came
yes,
after and between as well. Like there was also some small attacks on Gaza as well.
yes, that's the thing which struck me by talking with you about your life in Gaza. The thing is, you were bombed almost every year, or not almost every year, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
After,
I mean, we are under occupation, and that's at least the worst thing we can live. That's we're living the oppression every day in Gaza. So if it's not a war, if it's not bombing, there is many other things that is really make us feel we are in a under a situation that is worse than a war as well. Like when the people cannot find a job, when the people cannot find a way to travel out to side of Gaza, or yeah, so it's in other ways is also, if it's not a war, it's other things that is making the people suffering in Gaza.
okay, and so what is I mean, for you and also for the people and your family in Gaza, what is different this time? I mean, what is different? What are the difference between the current situation and the war you've been through?
I mean, the wars that I have been through has been for sure hard, has been yeah, difficult where people getting killed and where houses getting bombed. But this time is not just a war, it's a genocide. It's like much more killing, much more destruction everywhere. You would not see a building that is not damaged. If it's not damaged, you would that's not in Gaza. I mean, every house that is not damaged, you would find the windows are broken or other things. My home have got bombed. Like a big part of our home is bombed. So the whole area where I live have been to the, like became like a sand area. Like they took all these buildings away and became sand. So most of Gaza's buildings is destroyed. 30,000 people is killed, and many more is under the rubble that is not found, and not we don't know anything about if they are living or not, which is missing. So it's, you can say it's more than yeah, some people say it's up to 100,000 people, with including injured people, missing people, and killed people in Gaza Strip, which we never seen before. I never could feel this fear about my family. I mean, I lived a war while being here in Sweden, and it was really tough for me to be away of my family and not knowing a news about them. But every time I talk to my family, they tell me, "Don't worry, we are okay." This time in this genocide, my family don't tell me we are okay anymore. They don't tell me don't worry, because they don't know themselves if they are gonna be okay or not, because they're not okay. They have been forced to leave home. They have been forced to find a way to find food, because there is almost, it's hard to find the food. It's hard to find the safe place. There is no safe place. Even while they were in Khan Yunis, which was considered some months ago, they were considering it as a safe area. The bombs were in front of our homes. Like our neighbors' homes got bombed. And even Rafah at the moment, after they evacuated to Rafah, they have attacked on Rafah many times. They have been bombing people inside their tents. So it's not even safe where they are. So it's not the same. It's much, much worse than I even see, or everyone see on the social media. And yeah, the feeling is really terrible to be away of them and to not know how they are, even because this time I even cannot contact them for many days. It came to me sometimes like weeks, like 2 weeks without reaching them, and I could just reach them through my friends, just asking my friends of my family are okay, and then my friends tell me, yeah, your family are okay, don't worry. And that's how I feel bitter that my family is still alive, because they don't even tell names anymore, because they cannot count how many names they gonna, like, people sometimes in pieces that they don't know who is this body for, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, so I also have been, I lost friends, I lost relatives in this war, which was not the same as last times. It was, I did lose a friends, but this time I lost many friends. I lost many relatives. More than, I can say, in my area, my neighbors, I lost more than 13 neighbors. And of my family, like relatives who are like I know very well, and that's like used to come to our home, visit my father, visit my family, that's at least more than 50 people.
50?
50.
Whoa.
It's many people. It's not as before. I used to say, I talk about 10 people of the people who I know, of my like relatives, of my friends, because I also in the 2017, when I came to Sweden, 1 year after I I lost one of my good friends who also used to make documentaries. He's a journalist. I don't know if you heard about Yasser Murtaja. In 2017, he was shot while he had his breast jacket on,
Mm.
while he was filming a demonstration by the borders between us and Israel. And he was shot at that time, and then he got killed.
And it was a
So
peaceful demonstration.
it was a peaceful demonstration. It was about like people were not like able to breathe anymore. They wanted the freedom. They wanted a solution for us. And so the people decided to go every Friday to the areas between to the borders between
Yes,
us, the occupation,
yes,
uh, the Israeli where the Israelis are. So don't know if you heard about the peaceful march in Gaza every
yes,
Friday. Yeah. So after some weeks, the people saw that there is no solution. Israel is not for sure gonna give us our rights like that. There is no
yes,
peaceful demonstrations affecting them. There is no way that is affecting them. There's just they are forcing us inside the prison where we cannot get out, where we cannot get any rights to feel like we are human as any other human around the world,
mm.
you know. So yeah.
Yes. And one thing which makes the current situation even worse is that at the beginning of the war, the Israeli army asked Gaza people to go to the south of the Gaza Strip, and
Then
so
from the
they
south to more south, and from south to more south.
and
Where will
then
the 2 million people go? Is it?
yes,
It's like it's very clear. We always knew a plan of Israel that we always heard for many years ago that Israel want to push us to Sinai, whereas in the Egyptian land.
yes,
And for sure, we don't want. We want to be on our land. We want our freedom. We want our land back. And what Israel does, so they do what they want, is to kill the people, to scare them, to put pressure on them, so they just go away. But in the same time, we don't want. And in the same time, also, many people want to leave Gaza to be in a safe area, but in the same time, Egyptians are closing the area, so
mm,
people cannot leave. So in a way that is like, yeah, Gaza, if Egyptians open the crossing for us, it means like the Palestinian coast, the Gaza land will go, and then it will be occupied and controlled by Israel again, and then we will never be able to take it back, because that's how Israel done in the 1948.
yes,
But what will the people do? People want to be safe. The people want the safety for their kids, their children, and that's why they move away. That's why they evacuate from the north to the south, and then from the south to the most south in Rafah. No one want to die. People don't
mm,
want to die, but in the same time, we want our home back. We want our freedom. We want our dignity.
yes. And it's crazy because Rafah is a city of uh, 200 250,000 people usually, and
Yeah,
and currently there are 1.5 million of people.
it's like, when I talk to my family, sometimes they show me a video of how it is in Rafah. I see the tents, and then they send me sometimes videos of how they are like going to the market to buy some food and stuff. Then I see people like very, very close to each other, like thousands of people crossing the road in the same time. It's full of people in Rafah.
Mm,
Like very, very like much people.
mm. Yes, and
Crazy how it is to walk even there with that much people. And imagine like they still bombing in Rafah.
Yes,
They say to the people go there, and then they bombing in them.
yes. And they are talking, the Israeli government is talking about launching a military operation in Rafah.
Where will the people go? I mean, this is just crazy. They just like going around and around just to show that they want to kill people. That's the Israelis in the same time they are showing to the world how criminals they are. You
Mm.
know, the I mean, look how many people are there, and how many buildings have you destroyed? You destroyed all Gaza, and they still want to destroy all Rafah. They just want to make Gaza like unlivable. How do you say? Like the place
Mm.
where no one can live.
Yes.
They damaged all the health system, the hospitals. They destroyed all the universities, all the schools. So when this war finish, when this genocide finish, it means these children, these students will not go back to a school because there is no school.
Mm.
There's no hospitals to take care of these people who is getting sick. Imagine thousands of people in the hospitals who getting treatments after their injuries. That's the one that could survive a bomb that got amputated legs or lost his eyes or other things. I have friends who really lost their eyes, that they cannot see in one of their eyes, or
Oh,
lost some like amputated legs.
yes.
So yeah, the health system is destroyed, buildings are destroyed, hospitals destroyed, universities destroyed, schools destroyed. This is what they want to do, is just to make it unable to live in, like
Yes.
a sea of destruction, where people just suffer after even more.
Yes. So it's difficult to have hope in this
I
situation.
mean, we do have hope, whatever this whatever happened to us, but yeah, it's hard to imagine how will it be after this. The Palestinian people always think, yeah, someday we will be free for sure. We will always have the hope to be free someday. We will never give up on our rights and on our hope. But yeah, what the Israeli occupation done for us in Gaza Strip is something that will affect us for a very long time.
Yes, it's easy to
Like
understand.
it will affect these people who lived this war inside Gaza for many, many years. For like, I mean, imagine how much is like trauma they have
Mm.
after this war. How people can handle this fear, the bombs, the loss of their close ones. How many, like every family have lost members. I cannot say members now. It's like we cannot talk about one person who is
Mm.
lost of this family. Now, like Matar family, my family is, as I told you, 50 members of the same family. It's like they used to bomb a house full of people. So it's
Yes,
crazy. Like
it's
how
awful.
long will it affect the people? Not affect us for sure.
And what can we, maybe it's a difficult question, but what can we do, I mean, in Western countries and even in other part of the world, but what can we do to help the people of Gaza?
I mean, it's very important to always talk about Gaza, about Palestine, to spread videos, pictures of what's happening in Gaza, spread informations about what's happening, show the reality for the people instead of hiding it. it's so sad to see how the media here, when I watch a TV, when I see how the double standard, they just showing one side and they're not showing what's happening to the people of Gaza. They are not even considering it, not even mentioning it sometimes. So it's very important. This, like, I see this demonstrations that is happening inside in Europe. It's very important that the people see what's going on in Gaza. And still, like, imagine for more than 136, yeah, how many days is it? But it's many days, and it's more and more. And the people are still demonstrating. People are still going out to talk about Palestine, which is I see it very important to talk about, like, to share the awareness for the people who don't know about Gaza and what's happening in Gaza. I see that this genocide in Gaza have taught many people about Palestinian people, that many people start to understand what's going on in Palestine. Because many people who have been ignoring because they're thinking, yeah, this is very difficult, complicated to know what's going on. I don't want to talk about politics. But this is not politics. This is more about the humanity. You know, it's imagine like someone who came to your home, kicked you out of your home and take it and live inside it. How can it be like complicated to understand? Why is it difficult? So yeah, my hope that these people in the Western countries or any country outside Gaza or outside Palestine is to talk more about Palestine, learn about Palestine too. If you don't know what is Palestine and why is Palestinians are suffering of Israeli occupation, why is there an occupation in Palestine? So it's important to learn. It's important to listen to these people, that they want to send the message to the world that we want to also live free, to live as good as any other people around the world. We don't want to always be inside this prison with no human right. That's what I want to tell the people.
It's a struggle for basic human rights.
It is. Freedom should be the right that everyone have with no, how can I say,
Restrictions.
with no restrictions and no, I don't know how to say the word, but like it should be something very important. No one should talk think about having, not having, you know, it should
Yes.
be always there.
Yes, like fundamental right. Or
Yeah, it's very important that everyone is free. We are born free. Why will you make us living in this hard situation? Why will we think about our education? How will we get the right of education, or the right to breathe, to be able to get a job, to be able to be happy, to play without fear, you know, to play without thinking about bombs happening any moment, to live safe. You know, safety, I want to be safe sometime. I want to be able to travel to Gaza and leave Gaza at any time I want. I want to live inside Gaza without thinking that I want to leave Gaza because of the situation there. Gaza is the place where I was born, and I always feel like I want to be. But then imagine the situation where you feel like you don't feel safe, you don't feel like you get any right, you don't feel free, you feel like you have no future, because you know that you finished the university, you have your certificate, and you don't get a job because there is no job. There is 2 million people in Gaza who's looking for jobs. And 50% of the people before this genocide happened were unemployed. Imagine now after this war,
yes.
most of the people are unemployed at the moment. Everyone's project has been destroyed. Everything is destroyed. Where these people will go after?
Yes, it's very depressing, at
It's
least.
it's insane. Yeah, depressing. Yeah, catastrophic.
Yes.
Mm.
So I don't know, do you want to add something or?
Yeah, I mean, I wish to be able to see my family very soon, seeing them very safe, to see my friends who are in Gaza, the one that is left there, they are still safe, because I'm trying to reach some friends that I still could not reach them since the war
Okay,
started, so that I
okay.
don't know if they are alive or not. And yeah, that's what I wish. An end of this genocide, an end of this occupation. I wish the freedom for
Mm,
Palestine. I wish to see a free Palestine someday soon.
mm. You wish peace and freedom.
I wish peace and freedom to be, yeah, to be safe, to be live in peace,
Yes, I hope
to
you.
live free before living in peace for sure. Peace will come when I am free.
Yes,
Yeah.
I understand. Thank you very much, Ahmed.
Thank to you, Arno. I hope I said your name good.
Yes, perfect.
Oh, yeah,
It was perfect. And
yeah,
thank you, and I really hope your family is safe and will stay safe. And
thanks. Very
yes, and see
pleasure to
you.
talk to you.
Yes, me too. See you soon.
We see you soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.